Parental advisory. It means I say shit. Hey everybody, what's going on? James here, Wisemantimes. Haven't seen you guys in a little bit of a while. I've been focusing on work. You know, today I felt like making a video because I had something happen that has been a reoccurrence in my life, pretty much my whole life. An issue I've been having my entire life is how to deal with people that go out of their way to piss you off. People who get off on upsetting you. People who take advantage of your patience and take advantage of your kindness. You know, those types of people that antagonize you and just push those buttons every chance that they can. As you can tell, I had to deal with one of those people today, and then quite frankly, I'm almost 33 years old now, and I'm losing my ability to deal with them. And this video is kind of my necessity to get it out and to have something to look back on to see how I was able to cope with it and listen to my own advice and so on. So a lot of the times in the past, and even today, I am not very good with dealing with those types of people. And I know a lot of you aren't either. A lot of people aren't. And it generally goes along the ways of, you know, you try to do something, or you say something, and they come back with a little snippy remark, and you try to ignore it, and then they snip some more, and yip. And finally, when you finally have to take a stand, and you finally had enough of this person, you finally put your foot down, and then they turn it on you. Like, how dare you get upset at me? How dare you say something to me? These are the types of people that I know a lot of us have such a hard time dealing with, because how do you deal with somebody that gets off on you being upset? It's just like it's like internet trolls. You know, how do you deal with internet trolls? You can ignore them, but they'll never go away. And you know, this is a learning process. As with anything in life, you have to take the good with the bad and learn from it. Make it a part of you and grow. So with everybody, when it comes to dealing with these bullies, as they used to be called, now they're called trolls. I call them RL trolls, as in real life trolls instead of internet trolls. But they're basically just bullies. They're more sophisticated bullies. They know how to weave and play that victim game, you know. That's their main thing. They play that victim game. I call it the turncoat game. You know, they antagonize, and then when you finally lose your cool and somebody else notices, like, oh, how dare you, look at this person, he's attacking me, Anyway, it's a learning process on how to deal with these people throughout life. And my way of learning is trial and error. You know, you try one way to deal with them, that doesn't work, you try something else. 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 You know, until something works. And then that only works for a while, and then it doesn't work anymore, and then you try something else. And then you try something else, and then you try something else. Learning process. That's how life goes. There comes a point in time where you run out of options. I'm at that point. I've tried so many different ways to deal with these types of people throughout my life that I no longer have an answer. It's always easier to give people advice on how to do things, on how to deal with these people. Most people will just say ignore them, move on. But those types of people who tell you to just ignore them or whatever don't have to deal with these types of people, so they don't really know that ignoring them doesn't do shit, because they just keep coming back. Or they wait for the opportune moment and pounce. I have ways of dealing with these people. You know, you can stoop to their level. You can act the same way that they are, and show them the stupidity of their behavior. You can start treating them like a 5-year-old, where you take what they're saying and repeat it back to them, but in a manner that makes it sound so fucking silly that they feel stupid for saying that, but people these days are too ignorant to recognize that, so they don't understand, they don't get it, so it just flies right over their fucking heads. Or you can flat out ignore them. That doesn't fucking work, because they just wait for the opportune moment when you're least expecting it and pounce the fuck all over you. Or you can get somebody else to come in and be a mediator and deal with that. Most of the time that works. Most of the time that works. Because most of the time when you have a mediator there, they're able to speak to you at a rational and logical level and make you both understand that you're both acting like fucking dumbasses. That generally works, but for them, it doesn't generally work for that long. And of course my current method is to just flat out ridicule them, saying you're acting like a fucking idiot, stop it, you're a grown ass adult, there's no reason for you to be behaving like this. You know, I try to take a really rational, stern approach to it now. That doesn't fucking work. That's almost antagonizing them, it seems. So see, there's a learning process, and depending upon where you are in that process, I just gave you some ideas. But if you're where I'm at, you run out of ideas, you run out of options. Like, how else do you deal with these people these days? They're so sophisticated in their way of attacking you that you can try one way or another, but they don't fucking get it. It's like the stupid person in the family who doesn't know who the stupid person in the family is. They just don't get it. And you can try this and that, but the people these days, they're so self-involved, they're so self-indulgent, they're so self-centered. It's all about them, that they can't see their own actions being the cause of the problem. Only how you're responding to them is the cause of the problem. How do you deal with those people? What options could you possibly take? And as you can tell by how I am right now, I'm a little frazzled because I don't know how to deal with it anymore, and I feel like I'm making myself look bad just by not being able to deal with it. Anyway, so how do you deal with them? I don't fucking know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what kind of advice to give you guys. I seriously don't. Perhaps you guys have some advice. Every single person that tries to give you advice on this topic tells you the exact same thing. Just ignore them. Just move on. No, don't let them bother you. So on and so forth. But that's fine if it's a one-case scenario. But if it's a consistent basis, how do you block that shit out? How do you ignore the stupidity and the childish mentality of these people? I want to be able to give you guys advice, and it was the whole point of me making this video is to give you guys advice, but I just don't know. I don't, like, this is a problem we're having in our society today, where we have this fucking how dare you generation, where they feel that they can act and do and say whatever the fuck they please without any consequences, but the second you even dare respond to them, how fucking dare you? You had the audacity to fucking speak back to me? You see the struggle I'm having, and I know a lot of you have it as well. It's a frustration. This is not just. This is a societal problem we're having these days. So I don't know. Like, what do you guys suggest? What do you guys do? Do you just ignore people? Keep in mind that this is on a consistent basis. If this was just a one-time thing, one stupid asshole here, one stupid asshole there, then fine, ignoring them is no problem, because you can just move the fuck on with your day and be done with it. I'm talking about people that are consistently there. It's like people you had in high school that sit behind you every day and flick shit at you, 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 and flick shit at you for months and months, and then finally when you turn around and go, what the fuck are you doing? The teacher gives you the detention for speaking out in class. This is an internal struggle problem thing that I've been dealing with my entire life. For the first part of my life, I let people walk all over me. I let people say what they wanted. I let people do what they pleased. And then came a point in time where I finally put my foot down and I didn't allow these motherfuckers to walk all over me anymore. And ever since I finally took a stand, it's caused me it's caused me more problems. Because now I'm standing up to these motherfuckers instead of just ignoring them and letting them just do whatever the fuck. Now they're combating with me, and it's just like, how do you, when you're in close quarters with somebody for a consistent amount of time, and this is the type of mentality and behavior that they show, how I don't know how. These motherfuckers are everywhere. It doesn't matter where you go, it doesn't matter where you live, it doesn't matter how old you are. There's 7 billion people on this fucking planet. More times than not, there's at least one motherfucker who tries to ruin your day. Every day. Can you tell how frustrated I am with these people? Can you tell? Because it hurts. It hurts. A lot of the times throughout my life, people have tried to push my buttons. People have tried to get me violent. People have tried to get me to hit them. Why? I don't know. That's so fucking stupid. I'm 6'4", over 250 pounds. I will hurt you. But there are so many people on this planet that are so fucking lucky that I am not a violent person. And I'm sure it goes the same with most of you as well. You do what you can to get along with everybody that you can. You do what you can to not cause any problems. You do what you can to ignore what you can and ignore what you can't. And try to be as constructive as possible in the process. I was going to try for giving you guys advice on how to deal with these people, but if I don't know how to deal with them myself, how can I give you guys advice on how to? Any suggestions would be greatly appreciated. And I swear to God, anybody who gives me a fucking response that says, just ignore them, I will ban your ass. I'm fucking done with that fucking suggestion, because it doesn't work. It does not work. With all that being said, and me starting to get tired from being so frustrated, you know, we each have our own way of dealing with people. We each have our own way of dealing with problems. The issue comes when we no longer know how to deal or how to intake new ideas, because a lot of times we've tried them already, or you know, it sometimes does come down to a personal basis, individual basis, on how you deal with personal individuals. But for the most part, these types of people are all the same, and the ways that you deal with them will have the same outcomes. It's just a matter of how you get there. Some are pleasant, some are unpleasant, but the outcomes are generally the same. And I don't want to, I don't like calling them bullies, but when you break it down to their basic behavior, that's what they are. For people like myself who were bullied throughout my childhood, I don't deal with that shit very well. I don't deal with those people very well anymore. And now that I'm 6'4", 265 pounds, dealing with those types of people is a little different. But, you know, we do the best we can, and we try to be the best that we can, even in those situations. And a lot of the times we come out better for them. Sometimes we don't. But we learn and grow from it no matter what. So, I'm James, Wisemantimes. Stay strong, stay wise. Peace the fuck out.